And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, today we're going to be taking a look at Prospectus. Now this is a game that caught my attention because I saw some people playing it and it had this giant crystal ball. And I thought, well, why is there a giant crystal ball? And then someone showed me that it was a cube tower. Essentially this here, you're going to drop cubes into it and some of them are going to stay inside of it instead of falling out the bottom. Oh, now this is very similar to one of my favorite games, Wallenstein, which has this, and I love this concept. And I had not yet seen one of these cube towers that was clear and you could see what was inside it. So that was fascinating to me. And then I heard it was a stock market game, essentially. Thought, okay, I'll try it. It's about buying and selling potions on the underground market. Let's take a look. In this game, players are going to be buying and selling potions of 5 different types. On the board, you're going to keep track of the price of those types. They all start at 20 coins. And at the beginning of the game, you're going to be throwing cubes in here. You're going to be throwing cubes in here often during the game. And this thing is set so that not all cubes come out of it. So if I put these cubes in here, you'll see a couple cubes got stuck in there and are going to stay inside there. At the beginning of the game, you're going to do that, and players are going to essentially take some of these cubes and start the game with them. Now, on a player's turn, each player is going to go around the table and take a turn. On a player's turn, they're going to start the game by first, on their turn, if they have a potion, they can sell it, one of the master potions, to any open spot on a card. Some of the spots are closed at the beginning of the game, but they will open up because these cards are going to come off and cards are going to slide over as the game progresses. When you sell to a spot, you will get that many coins, regardless of what the potion's price is, but you also get to use the special ability. And each one has a random special ability. For example, green special ability is get an extra 10 coins. After a player does that, they then can buy or sell from the market. When you buy, you can buy the number of goods based on where the price is. So green here is at 20, so you can buy up to 3 greens for 20 apiece. If green was 27, you could buy up to 2 of them. If green was at 37, you could buy only 1 of them. And if green is really cheap, down here at 12, you could buy up to 5 of them. You can, instead of buying, you can sell. And you can only buy or sell one type. And when you sell, you can sell for the price, and you can sell as many as you want. Players will then be playing a special card from their hand. Each player has a deck of special cards at the beginning of the game. One player will take out a certain number of special cards randomly. Everyone else will search through a deck and take out the same one. So you start with the same spells. And on a player's turn, they have a hand of cards, and they must play one of their special cards. They can use it for the special ability, which will often be basically just manipulating the prices and putting things out here and so on. Or you can use it to buy or sell again. Or you can use it to recharge your special tile. When you recharge your special tile, this tile can be flipped back over on someone else's turn to let you sell and interrupt someone else's turn. After you play your special card, you can buy and or sell again. Then you will resolve the rightmost card over here. Now when these cards are resolved, if there are any cubes on that card, so you look at the top here, it's pink and yellow. If there are any cubes in that card, you will take those and you're going to place them in this little window here so that they're inside the crystal ball. Those are going to give out bonus points at the end of the game. If there's not one there, or if there's a black one there, those two are cursed by the High Council, and those two will go down 1 in price, or whichever one is empty. So let's say only yellow was empty, yellow would go down in price. Then you're going to look at the card itself. So this card here shows 3 blues, 1 yellow, 1 purple, 1 pink, and 2 greens. So I'm going to take those, and then I'm going to throw those in the tower, which, as we've already determined, is the most fun part of the game. So let's drop those in the tower. And you'll notice that a lot of cubes fell out of the tower. So let's look at the ones that fell out. Out of the tower, we've seen 3 greens, 2 blues, a pink, and a yellow drop out. So blues, according to this card, on this turn are going to go up. So since 2 came out, blue goes up by 2. 1 yellow came out, so yellow goes down by 1. 3 greens came out, so green goes up by 3. And 1 pink came out, so pink goes down by 1. No purples came out, so purple's price does not change. So then we will just affect all the prices here like that to illustrate how that works. And that's how prices work. Now, if a price ever gets to 40, it will double, and players will get extra of the cubes that they have. If it comes down here below 10, then it crashes, and players will lose all the cubes of that type. And in both cases, the price is reset to 20. Down here, at the very bottom, you'll see Troll Sweat, which is the name of purple. That one here is you're going to place one purple cube on this board here, and when 3 of these are placed of the same one, then dividends are paid out. And each player is going to get coins based on how many purples they have. So you're going to get coins for each one. The dividend for them is the number above the current price of that one. So here, for example, purples have a dividend of 4. Now, these are not all equal, and in fact, inside throughout the deck of card, the blues will never show up on dividends, although there are other ways you can manipulate it to get dividends from blue, and some colors will show up more often than others. And even these are going to be different based on the different color. So then after you resolve that card, the next player will take their turn, and after 5 rounds of everybody doing this, at the very end of the game, everyone will sell all their cubes for the current price that they're worth. But before you do that, you will reveal all the cubes that are underneath the tower, so there will probably be several at that point in time. And for these cubes will determine essentially how much bonus you get. So let's say there's 4 green cubes. That means you get 4 coins for every green cube that you have at the end of the game. So you'll take some bonuses for all your cubes, and then at that point, whoever has the most coins is the winner of the game. All right, so Prospectus here is essentially just a stock market game. Yes, there's this whole magic potion and all, and the theme doesn't hurt it, right? It's not like, oh, this theme is so annoying and all, but it is funny that there's dividends and there's this, your stocks can double. It looks like the stock market game, they got like, oh, okay, how can we make this interesting? I know, let's throw a magic theme on it. And that's fine. The magic theme's fun, I suppose, and it doesn't bother, but I think it's funny. I mean, the only thing that's really cool then is this right here. Now, I love this, right? And this is a gimmick to some degree, but it's actually a gimmick that works. And because I like the fact, I'll look how many cubes are in there. I'll say, okay, blue's going to go up this round. We're throwing in 3 blues, and there's already 3 blues in here. Looks like blue's going to really shoot up. I'm going to buy a lot of blue. Now, will blue shoot up? There's a possibility more blue cubes will stay in here. But the likelihood is high. And so this is a really neat device for that. And I like how the whole thing fits together, how some of the cubes that are put underneath it and stay there till the end of the game. And that card system where it shows which ones go up or down is really good because it shows you which ones will probably go up and down. And even then, though, players' magic spells can change those. The magic spells, unfortunately, there's like no text on them. So you will find that you will constantly have to be looking up, what do my magic spells do again? Probably for your first several games, because there's just a lot of different spells and the pictures on them don't immediately bring to mind what it is. Other than that, the stock market part of the game is very solid. Remember, I said this is a gimmick to some degree, which brings you in, but the stock market is good. You're buying and selling. There's not a lot. Basically, it's a straight-up stock market game where you can buy and sell things with this gimmick, which will raise or lower the prices, and then the magic cards where you can essentially mess with the stock market and do different things. So that's a good, solid game, and I really do enjoy it for that reason. I like the components. I like the clear cubes. I like this. The only thing I don't like is probably the length. The game lasts, I believe, 5 rounds if you're playing with 4 players or so, and I like that in theory, but it's just a little too long. So someone told me that they cut 1 round out and it was much better and much smoother, so I tried it, and yes, it really was. So that's no big deal. I just recommend if you play this, because the game just felt like it was outstaying its welcome a little bit. You cut out that 1 round, it doesn't really change the game that much, and I think it makes it that much more fun. Guys, this is a solid stock market game. You may not like fantasy, ignore that. You can pretend it doesn't exist other than this crystal ball. No big deal. If you love fantasy, you better also like stock market games. This is a good, solid stock market game. It has a gimmick, of course, but the gimmick is a good one, is a functional one, and adds a lot to the game. This was a surprise for me. I enjoyed it. Prospectus. Dice Tower Judgment, approved!
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at DicetowerNetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Shut the door!